Today we have a very special guest, and he's actually the first paying patient that ever visited Pediatric Partners. Now, we had a lot of patients coming to Pediatric Partners, but our first patient, who's going to be introduced shortly, was actually the first person to give us a check, and we were extremely excited when they came and we got that first check for Pediatric Partners. So it's a lot of nostalgia. This is in 2011 October when we first opened, and this is, I mean, we're now in 2024 going into 2025, and I insisted that we had to do a show with him because a lot has happened since that first visit at Pediatric Partners. So I want to introduce our special guest, Bomie. And Bomie is actually, he's going to introduce himself and then I'll introduce him again. But go ahead, Bomie, introduce yourself.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Bomie Oroene. I am a 22-year-old who grew up in Lagos. I was in school in Lagos for most of my life until I went to New York for high school.
Okay, so now the first visit, when Bomie came, he was 9 years old and he came to Pediatric Partners.
Yeah, this was 13, 14 years ago.
2011. We were just talking about that.
9-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Who didn't know much. Who didn't know much. Yeah.
Yes, and Bomie, you've always had that energy. You know, you go anywhere and you're the one talking about all the different ideas that you have. Just extremely special. And Bomie is not only our first patient at Pediatric Partners, he's also the first son of my cousin, my dearest cousin, Osai Alile, and we all grew up together, you know, family. Hey, we love ourselves too.
We love our family.
And we want to thank you, your dad and your mom for just having that vision and that insight for Pediatric Partners. When they came, we were like, no, you're family, you don't have to pay. And your dad and sister is like, no, we're family, but we're also patients of your organization. And he made sure that he gave us a check at that time. I think I even framed the check. It's somewhere, but I framed it. So Bomie, we wanted you to talk about your experience of growing up in Nigeria and what it has meant to you. And I mean, how old are you? You're 22.
I'm 22, yeah.
You went to school. Okay, tell us about your education, and then we'll go from there.
So my education, I went to the CIS in Lagos.
Okay. What does CIS stand for?
Children's International School.
Okay.
I went to Children's International School from year 1 to year 6. I graduated from primary school at CIS, and then I moved to Waterman College in Ogun State.
Okay. You were a head boy at CIS, right?
I was a prefect at CIS.
Okay, you were a prefect.
I was a prefect at CIS.
Okay. So you've always had those leadership skills.
Yeah, I've always found my way to those spaces.
Right. Which is very important, by the way.
I believe
because
so.
It makes a difference.
I believe so, and it helped
your mindset.
Me. Yes, when I was younger,
yes.
like it did help me, like being in charge of other kids, and help me like with my
responsibility.
Responsibility.
Yes,
really, even building relationships, and being able to communicate with people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then I went to Waterman. I was in Waterman for 3 years, from year 7 to year 9. After which I moved to the States. I went to high school in New York on Long Island called the Stony Brook School.
Okay.
The Stony Brook School, I was the head prefect.
You see, everywhere you go, you have to be the head boy or the head prefect. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. It was hard.
Excellent.
It was because look, I was like I always say one of few Nigerians. Well, not a lot of us.
Yes. And Nigeria no, they carry last. You were in Stony Brook.
Nigeria does not carry last. Nigeria does not carry last.
Exactly. So you went there and you were the head boy.
Yes.
And then after that, what did you do?
After that, I moved to California. I went to LA. I studied at the University of Southern California.
Now, for University of Southern California, that is a very difficult school to get into.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I actually got an interview for my residency there.
Really?
And at the end of the day, there was so much competition.
Yeah.
I was shortlisted, but in the end, I didn't get that position.
Yeah.
So USC, oh my goodness, that's a very good school. What did you study at USC?
I studied international relations and political science and risk management.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent, excellent. So now you graduated just this year,
Yes,
2024 in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm
what's the
done.
plan now?
So I moved back to Lagos. I'm doing NYSC.
So you moved back, when did you move back? In the last month or two?
No, I moved back in August.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
as soon as you
'cause
graduated.
As soon as I graduated, I was like, it's time for me to come back to Nigeria.
It's like
I'm
Nigeria is
ready.
calling me.
Yes, Lagos is calling me. Nigeria is calling me.
Right.
And I came back in August, beginning of August, and I've been back since then.
Wow, so how have you found it? And What do you think about being back in Lagos?
I mean, I've always loved Lagos. I've always loved Nigeria. It's
Hey,
no, truly,
speaking my
truly.
language.
I'm being so serious.
I love it.
I've always known that Lagos is my
Yeah.
city.
There's
Lagos will
nowhere
always be,
like home.
there's
This is
nowhere like
home.
home.
Yes.
And I think even funny enough, I think going to California made me realize how much I need to be at home. I need to be close to home.
Yes.
Like I can't be somewhere that's too far from home.
From home,
And
right.
also, I think, like you said, we come from a very family-oriented family.
Yes.
Like, we love our family.
Oh.
And being away from family is so hard. Like, for me, I realized I
Yes.
can't do that.
Yeah.
So everything, all roads led back to Lagos.
Lagos,
All
yes.
roads led back to Lagos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think when you go abroad and then you see how life is abroad
Yeah.
and you come back to Lagos, Lagos has its challenges.
Yes.
You talk about the traffic,
Yes.
but guess what? All that dulls in comparison when you think about family.
Yes.
You think about the people
Yeah.
in your network. You think about what you're bringing back to Nigeria to come and do, you know, and there's nowhere like home. Yes. Yeah. So how long are you going to be here? Is this Nigeria forever? I mean, what's the plan?
So I'm back for a year for now, for my
Okay.
NYC year.
Okay.
After which I'm going to do my master's.
Okay.
And then
The sky is the limit.
the sky's the limit. I would love to come back
Yes.
like after my master's, but
Yes.
I would also like to. There's some things I believe I have to go and learn first before I come back.
Yes.
But I do know that Nigeria
is it.
Lagos is it. Nigeria is it for sure, 100%.
I love that.
And I'm a product of my upbringing. Both my parents are like one of the only few people in their families that came back and settled in
Yes.
Nigeria. So
Oh yeah, we have a big family in
yeah,
North America.
exactly.
And when we all get together, I mean, we can count like hundreds to thousands of our family members in the US, in the diaspora.
Yeah.
A lot of people are trying to come back home, you know, but sometimes it's not as easy as it
Yes.
could be.
Yeah.
But the goal is definitely to be back home. Okay, so Bomi, thank you for all those young people who are looking up to you and wondering why you came home. What would you say to them? Final statement.
I would say that there's a lot of potential and opportunity in Nigeria. I believe that it looks very dim and dark now, but I believe that the more we lose hope and the more that we go further and further away, the darker it gets here. Home is home. Home will always be home. You can run and run and run, but there'll always be a part of you that's missing because there'll always be a part of you that's here. And if we cannot use the opportunities and the privilege that we've had, like running away to come back and help the country that has fostered us and has helped us grow, then I think that's a disservice to ourselves, to our families, to the country. So come back home. Nigeria is a great place. Lagos is also, Nigeria is awesome, and there's so much potential here.
Thank you so much, Bomie. So, hey, it's Christmas time. It's going to be great. It's a wonderful time.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to us today. And Bomie, thank you for being on the show. And we'll see you next time. Please go ahead and subscribe to the links that will show up on the screen. And thank you for listening. Bye-bye.